Well, welcome to yet another face-to-face interview with Rockosaurus. Today it's a great privilege to speak to the one and only Myke Gray.
Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me. Honoured to be here.
Very pleased to meet you properly, Myke, and welcome back to Leo's Red Lion.
I know, what a phenomenal venue. Well, I've been playing gigs for 40 years of my life, and this has only very recently come onto my radar. We played a charity concert here for Ukraine. I was so blown away by the friendliness of the people that run it, but also the very high level of professionalism. That when I was putting my farewell tour together, it just became like an obvious, yeah, we have to come back and do a proper set here. So
We're very glad to have you back, mate.
And as soon as we walk through the doors, you feel the love. So very happy to be here.
Good. Very pleased to hear it. I mean, it's a real family atmosphere here. So
very much so. It's until you've been here, you don't really understand it. But it's a very loving environment, and people that really passionate about rock music.
Oh yeah. I mean, between lockdowns, this was about the only place that was actually putting on gigs as well, because we've got the outside stage here behind us.
Oh, yeah.
And we were having gigs with like 62 people, all sitting down. But it was live music.
Yeah, I mean, COVID was obviously a terrible time for music. Yeah. So I was actually unaware that you managed to do that while it was all still going on. So fantastic.
Yeah, no, it made all the difference to everybody who came here.
People don't realise how important music is to people's lives.
It's oxygen to so many people.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't play an instrument, I don't sing, I listen and love it, and it is like a drug.
Yeah, I mean, it's to every musician I know, they're all still fans. They still go to concerts, they still listen to music as passionately as when they were teenagers. So it's as important to us as anyone. So fantastic.
No, that's good to hear. I mean, you've been in the business for quite a while, haven't you?
I have.
How many years? Dare I ask?
Well, my first gig was at the age of 12 with Bernie Tormey.
Right.
He was playing a show at the Marquee, and I was very lucky to be introduced to him. He taught me how to play some things on guitar. He invited me to rehearsals. I just thought I was going to rehearsals, and then he said, "Okay, you're ready to do a gig." And so my first gig was at the London Marquee at the age of 12. There was 800 people there.
Oh my God.
And I played Under My Wheels by Alice Cooper, and it was a life-changing moment for me. As soon as that happened, there was no way that I was going to ever do anything else. And so, and then obviously it all sort of progressed from there. But I've been doing it a long time, for sure.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I mean, I've got to ask you, how the hell do you look so young? What's the secret?
After only having 6 hours sleep from last night, I don't feel that young today. But generally, I mean, I'm a nutritionist for a living. I'm a personal trainer for a living. And if it's a serious question, I would probably say I've never smoked. I drank alcohol for maybe 3 years of my life, and I'm a vegan. And I haven't eaten meat since the age of like 17. And I have a whole food diet, and I try to train every day. And I don't drink alcohol, so I mainly drink water. So it's a really boring answer and incredibly un-rock and roll, but it's a lifestyle,
Well, absolutely, and it works for you, for God's sakes.
One of the reasons for this is cancer is very, very prevalent in my family, and most of the people die young. And when you've had that sort of hanging over your head your whole life, you want to try and do everything you can to stay alive, because I really like being alive.
Well, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Exactly. So I'm as passionate about that as music, really. It's like, I don't want to die young, and most people in my family do.
Yeah. Well, we don't want you to die young either, so yeah.
Opinions may vary on that, but thank you.
I've heard you play, mate. We want you to be around a lot longer.
Oh, thank you.
No, I mean, this is the penultimate gig of your little run of gigs before you leave these shores.
Yeah, I mean, I got married last year. My wife, even though she's English, she lives in the US. And so I've applied for a green card, and it's a very slow process. Originally, I wasn't going to do any shows this year, and then the Steelhouse Festival approached me to play. When I knew Michael Schenker was playing on the same bill, who was one of my heroes, that was very much a key factor to me saying yes. And then I suddenly realized, well, this actually may be the Steelhouse, may be my last ever show, because coming back to the UK from the US is very expensive. And then so I thought, well, if I'm going to do the Steelhouse, then I really should do some of my own shows, and I get a chance to say thank you to the people that have supported me for 30 years. And if people want to come along, great. We did our first one last night in Wolverhampton, and it was a very overwhelming experience. The level of love that came from the audience energized the band. It was a really beautiful moment, and memory that I'll hold very dear. And then tonight we're here in Gravesend at Leo's, and then final show at Blackpool tomorrow at Waterloo, and then the Steelhouse show. And you know, it's very likely that they will be my final shows. So it's a very emotional weekend.
I should think so. Yes. Mixed feelings, I should think.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you see how much the music has meant to people, you know, because the writing of music has always been the driving force for me. You know, when I was very young, it used to be about learning to play guitar and wanting to do guitar solos. But it changed quite quickly when I saw the power. Oh wow, there's a bumblebee.
Go away.
When I saw the
makes a change from the wasps that we normally get here, but
when I saw the power of a song, I realized that the power of a song was more powerful than a guitar solo. And so something flicked, like a switch flicked inside my brain, which was kind of like, I need to learn how to write songs. And it's something I've been trying to do for most of my life. And so you never know if you've succeeded. You know, you have no idea.
Well, there's no end point, is there? Is it? You know, it's not like, well, I've written this song, that's the ultimate. You know, because you're always going to be writing more songs.
It's an obsession. It turns into something that is, it really consumes your every waking moment. Like all the time, you're thinking, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can do that. And you get inspiration all the time. And so it is something that never switches off.
Kind of a self-exploration in a way.
Very, very much so. And so the only time that you get sort of validation for your work is when you play a concert, because then you actually see how your work is connected emotionally with someone. You know, and the ultimate is when they sing it back. You know, that's for a writer, it doesn't really get better than that.
No,
you know?
I've heard this from many songwriters.
It's the
that's a serious buzz.
It's the you feel justified. The work feels justified. Because writing a song, sometimes a song will come very quickly. Sometimes it takes years for it to get completed in a way that you get happy with. And last night there was just a lot of singing all the way through, and so you feel very humbled that your work is connected. You know, so so hopefully there'll be some more of the same tonight.
Well, I'm sure there will be, quite certain. Now, you mentioned Michael Schenker a moment ago, which brings me on to your time with UFO. One of my all-time favourite bands.
Me too.
Amazing band. I've actually only seen them twice, and that's actually been in relatively recent years. When was it you were with them?
Well, it was just after they recorded the Misdemeanor album, and Atomic Tommy was the guitar player. He'd left the band, and so the story is that Metal Hammer, which was a very big publication in Europe, mainland Europe, and in the UK, they approached UFO to do a headline show to celebrate their magazine. And they said, well, we don't actually have a guitar player at the moment. And Metal Hammer, who had been following my progress, had basically said, well, what about if you use this guy? And Phil Mogg, he called me up and just said, would you be interested in doing it? I was a massive UFO fan. I have 3 ultimate guitar heroes. One is Randy Rhoads, one is Michael Schenker, and one is Eddie Van Halen. and so I had about a week to learn the songs that I didn't know, because I was a Michael Schenker fan, but I didn't really know the stuff afterwards.
Sure.
And then we went out to have 2 days of rehearsal, which isn't very much when you think about it. We had 2 days of rehearsal out in Woolwich, and the first song I played with them was Lights Out. And that was a life-changing moment.
I'll bet.
Because I'd been trying to put bands together since the age of 13.
Yeah.
And never had any real success. And then working with Phil Mogg and hearing him sing just made me realize, well, this is a completely different level.
Yeah.
And so it kind of raised the standards for me of what I would then consider acceptable.
Yeah.
Playing the UFO gig gave me a lot of confidence and sort of put my name into the arena for just a wider reach of musicians.
Sure.
And then from then, that's when I built Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
That was my first band. But without that show, that period with UFO, I probably wouldn't have had the skills to build the bands that followed, because I just learned a great deal from Phil Mogg.
Yeah.
The most important thing was songwriting. I thought I knew how to write songs, but then when I worked with Phil, I realized I've been actually approaching it in a very different way.
Right.
And the way he spoke about writing lyrics, and the way that he saw a song very much like a movie, which was just a concept which was completely alien to me. It was just kind of like, and when you listen to the lyrics, there's characters within, and there's dialogue, and then all of a sudden you realize that you become a script writer. It's not just a song, you're trying to write a script.
Yeah, you're telling a story, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was just, you're only, you need teachers in life. I'm a martial art instructor, so it's kind of, you understand the importance of teachers. And I was very lucky to have Phil Mogg as a teacher.
Yeah.
Because he was one of the greatest singers of all time.
Yeah.
But he's just a phenomenal songwriter as well. Yeah. In my life, invaluable.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I understand that when UFO were in the studio, Phil Mogg would often turn up with the lyrics literally on the day that they were recording the songs, they were chomping at the bit waiting for the lyrics, and he'd just turn up with a bit of paper with them scribbled on.
I can having worked with him, I can understand how that's true.
I mean, Jagged Edge was that was a major step forward for you, wasn't it? I mean, it's
yeah, I mean, one of the things that the show with UFO did is that it brought me to the attention of some managers, and Rod Smallwood, who was the manager of Iron Maiden. I came onto his radar, and so then it became about putting together a band. And when you had Rod as a manager, who had the biggest rock band in the world at that particular time, he had a lot of power within the industry, still has a lot of power within the industry, and he had access to the record companies, so that was another reason why the UFO show was so important. Kind of Rod Smallwood sort of noticed me. And Rod was my manager through Jagged Edge and Skin, and the guy who made it all sort of happen, really.
It all came together through him.
Very much so.
Excellent. Now, something I've got to ask you about. You clearly have a passion for foxes.
Yes, very much. Oh, yeah, very much so.
Been thoroughly enjoying your little videos on Facebook.
I mean, it's animal. I mean, it's I'm an animal rights activist. So I don't eat animals. Because I just don't really. I don't like the concept of something suffering for my existence. I've been a vegan now for 8 years and haven't eaten meat since I was 17, so something like nearly 40 years. So it's a big part of my life, and whether it be cats, dogs, foxes, I'm just into to things having a happy life and not having to be subjected to cruelty.
No,
but I do love my foxes.
Oh, they clearly have a very happy life. In your garden,
I have 7 of them that live in my garden.
Oh, lovely.
So
you're going to miss those, aren't you?
Yeah, very much so. I'm swapping them for alligators, cottonmouth snakes and mosquitoes.
Yeah, they're not quite so friendly, are they, really?
But they are fascinating.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, certainly they are. But no, it always amuses me seeing these videos of yours, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing creatures, and you know, they tend to come out very early in the morning, and I sort of work through the night.
Right.
So there was a discovery to me. You know, I go to bed sometimes at 5 o'clock, and then, you know, you go to lock everything up, and you realise there's like 4 foxes in your garden.
Oh yeah.
So
But we get plenty in ours as well, and there's quite some interesting interaction between them and my 2 cats. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's all.
They live in peace. They live
that's
in
good.
peace. But my dog doesn't like them. He chases them off. But
Yeah, I mean, it's nature, isn't it? You know, it's just the way it is.
oh yeah. Much maligned creatures, I must say. But
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Back to the music. Now, so you're working with my friend Dan Byrne for these gigs. How did you get together with Dan?
Well, I mean, I've been very lucky that I've worked with some phenomenal singers over the years, you know, whether it be Bruce Dickinson and Matty Alfonsetti and Neville MacDonald, all sort of world-class singers. And they, when you've worked with singers of that quality, they set the bar in very, very, very high.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always written for the singer.
Yeah.
So as a result of it, I have a body of work which can be quite hard for a lot of singers. So Dan came onto my radar through New Wave of Classic Rock. It's a community that I'm part of, and I've always enjoyed listening to new music.
Yeah.
And someone just posted the video, and I watched it, and I just thought, this guy is actually exceptional.
He is, yeah.
A very unique voice, and initially we just became friends. And then we got together just initially to do some backing vocals on a song that I was working on for Shades of Grey. And then the more that I worked with him, the more I realized this guy can do anything that I ask him.
Yeah.
You know, because the songs that I wrote for Skin are very different than the songs I wrote for Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
You know, and they're 2 very different singers, and you write accordingly. But Dan is someone who can sing both of them.
He's so versatile.
Which is incredibly rare, because they're very far apart from each other. It's like if you listen to Black Sabbath, the songs with Ozzy are radically different to the songs with Ronnie James Dio.
Of course, yeah.
You know, and so to be able to do both was phenomenal. And you know, I've just seen him grow, not only as a singer but as a performer.
Sure.
And I have absolutely no doubt that Daniel will go on to be a big star.
I think so.
And and I just I feel very honoured not only to be working with Dan, but with Colin Parkinson on bass, Neil Ogden on drums, and Glenn Quinn on guitar.
Yeah.
This is as a unit, the best band I've ever played with.
Wow.
You know, we have there's no egos in it, and we all just get on incredibly well.
Well, yeah.
And it's a pleasure. And he was like the missing link. So it's always a joy to be around Daniel.
Oh, he is. Such a lovely guy as well.
Very
So,
100% genuine.
Yeah.
And I really hope that the people that have watched my shows will take to Daniel in the same way and give him the support that they've given me.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
they
hope
will.
so.
I mean, you know, Revival Black have been on this stage and that stage several times. Absolutely phenomenal.
They're a great band.
Superb, and they've got the songs and they've got the sound.
Yeah, and they have the singer.
And boy, do they have a singer. Yeah. No, it's quite something. Myke, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, mate. I'm not going to keep you any longer. And I'm really looking forward to tonight. It's
Thank you very much.
Phenomenal.
We're looking forward to playing.
Absolutely.
All
Myke,
right.
it's been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Cheers.